Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and today we're going to be talking about the resurgence of the penny stock and how trading's been happening over the last couple of months, trading pennies. I've even focused on a lot on penny stocks recently on the show and trading it, and trying to defend my decision to do that because throughout my trading career I've always steered people to a more business-like approach in trading the markets, using the high probability setups and using quality names and being able to sleep at night. This is a totally different technique, but it can be very profitable. And as you know, recently with the news about the short squeezes and the Reddit and the Robinhood traders, people have made a lot of money. Not to say that people haven't lost a lot of money also, because there's always two sides. But so I just want to go over some rules to trade and some cautions on the penny stocks, just to kind of get it out there and just kind of pass on some of my my knowledge and my experience in these, because I started trading probably pennies back in the 90s, and it was just kind of a ritual of rite of passage. When you become a trader, you're starting to learn how to trade, and you're a day trader, so to speak, not working professionally like I was. A day trader, picking it up and trading off my Charles Schwab account, Street Smart account. And you get attracted to the penny stocks. You start to have these dreams of taking a penny all the way to $100, and it's just the numbers could add up really fast, and you could see that kind of blinding what the real deal is and why a penny's a penny. But anyway, people will still mess with them, and they still trade. And just recently, we've been seeing tremendous moves in them, and we've made a lot of money on them. So I want to just go over some of the basic cautions. I want to just tell people out there, first thing is first. I always say this: penny stocks are penny stocks because the company, the price is pricing in what the company's worth, if it's even worth that. Things don't change overnight like they do in a group of penny stocks, which we've seen in the month of February. All within basically the 2 to 3 week period when we see these penny stocks just taking off. You're gonna tell me all these pennies all of a sudden their companies have changed and become profitable and everything? No, these are all momentum traders. So it's about these penny stocks being searched out, being promoted, people getting on, momentum traders getting on. And just basically seeing who's the last one holding the bag. It really is. And we've seen this a lot in pennies, and it goes through cycles. And you have a chart on the screen right here, XTNT. This is a recent stock we're in. And this is not really a penny. I would consider it a dollar stock, but anything around or underneath a dollar is usually considered a penny stock. And then anything under a penny is like a micro penny, and we've been seeing those also move. And again, it's attracting the same crowd out there. It's a very new crowd. People are swarming on these stocks. I call it the wolf pack. I've kind of coined it my own little phrase there. That they're sniffing around, and there's certain criteria in these stocks. Lots of them have lower floats. Some of them have compressed patterns, and it's just a matter of time breaking these through levels of resistance usually, which puts it on the radar on other traders, and other traders get in, and the momentum traders, now everyone's feeding on it. It's like a piranha, and they go after that stock and they pop it, and you see these things pop every so often. And this is XTNT, which this is something like I would look for, and I put it on our watch list because it has the history of stocks pop. Is one of the things I like to do, is go and look back at the chart and see if there's been any significant pops, and most of them have drifted right back down. And then you get another pop. You don't even know if you can even trade that unless you look deeper into the charts. But most of them you can. Most of these are legitimate pops because we just had one on Friday. And this is the other rule I want to say. First of all, be realistic in your goals on where you're going to get. If you get a stock, it's 2 cents or 10 cents, whatever. Don't say you're going to, take it to $3. All right. If you get something at 2 cents and it goes to 4 cents, that's 100% gain. That's a double. You know how hard it is to make a double in the market? So I know a lot of people are like, they kind of have these targets out there with penny stocks. It's unrealistic, and they miss a lot of opportunities because, like I said, a lot of these stocks will actually pop, but they won't take it off because they're going to hold on, and they come right back down if they're lucky to be in it before they pop. Most of the people, they pop, everyone's running in, and then the next couple days or months, it drifts right back down. So you have all these bag holders over here. The object is to be in it, identify the stock, the pattern, the criteria, the float, everything about it. And that's what I do. I'm sending out these videos every week for the members, the flatline poppers, and we talk about the criteria on that video. So anyway, so this is a recent one. This just happened on Friday, and you can see, boom, another big pop. And we were tracking this because I like this type of base. It's a base where you pop up, you never come down to the lower area, it consolidates, and then we break through. In this case, it was chopping around, but here we finally got some poppage on this. Now, if you look after hours, or you can see the news, but this thing is now drifted back. It was at $6.39, and now it's at $3. So these things get cut in half, basically, almost cut in half. That's a big percentage move. If your people are holding on, you got $2 and it's going to $6 here. You got over 200% gains in the stock. 200% gains. So there's no doubt in my mind you should be taking profits in this. I know, there's no doubt that every situation that comes up, you need to be taking profits or taking your initial bases out of the stock, and then at least have a free trade going for you. But no, it's tough. I'm not the one that follows that rule either. Anyway, so that's the number one rule. Set a realistic goal in your chart. If you get 100%, 200%, 300%, realize that's a huge, huge profit. You need to start taking those profits because these things, 90% of them fail. 90%. Here's the other important rule. All right, and this happens a lot, and I'll give you another example right here. That just happened after hours on Friday. SHDSN. If you're trading penny stocks, in some cases, listed ones, they can trade after hours. So when you have news, and a lot of people are like, all right, I'm in front of the computer at 9:30, market's open. 4 o'clock, I'm going to go do my stuff and take care of business. It's like a work day for them. But the market continues to trade until 8 o'clock at night for after hours. So it's very important to have after hour and pre-market abilities on your trading platforms because most of these stocks move after hours. Now, the grayed out area here is the after hour section here. And the gray out area is the pre-market. All right. And you can see there was some news right at 4 o'clock. Right at 4 o'clock, there was some news, and it popped it all the way up here to $2 and change, and then came back and kind of just made a kind of a double top here. I mean, this went from, and I was in front of the computer at this time, so I kind of mentioned it in the room and stuff. This went up, it was a 50% pop on the stock price. 50%. You get 50% returns on your money. You know how good that is. In a matter of time. But what happened was everyone's, it drifts all the way back. By the time Monday morning comes around, it's going to start off right where it left off. Discounting the news. No one's not even going to know if it even moved. So many of these stocks move after hours. So what do you do? What you can do, and what I like to do, is put a preset order that is a good to cancel order that's sitting out there. So most of these stocks, most of these penny stocks, I can put an order in. If for example, I have a stock here, it's trading at 10 cents, and I'm looking for it to go to 18 cents. 80% gain. Not bad. And if I look at the chart pattern, it's probably telling me it could go to $4. But what I'll do is I'll try to capture that initial pop because these pops really happen really fast. And then at that point, if there is real news, sometimes it catches on and pushes high. But if there isn't any news, it usually comes back down. And lots of times this is a manipulation. It's just it might be a large block. It gets people's attention. Everyone runs in. It squeezes higher, and then there's no news, and then it slowly comes all the way back down. So you want to get that order in. So you're holding something, and you're not going to be in front of the computer. Put a standing, good to cancel order in with a limit price that you want to get on that stock. Realistically, be realistic. Maybe make it 100% if you want. You want to try to get that. Not everyone's going to. And it seems like the higher the stock is in price versus the micro pennies. The micro penny is very easy. We got 1,000% trade the other day on one of the micro pennies. Now, if I put a 100% gain on that, and it would have taken me out, I probably wouldn't have been upset because it went from a penny to 13 cents. It's come back down to I think it's come back down to 10 cents now. So, but still, it's up 1,000%. That was actually, that's TS. I'll show it to you. TSOI. Take a look at that daily. There's one from 4 to 15. That was another one, but there was even another one too. And then we had Swarm. App Swarm. And look at this thing. And this is the pattern you're looking for. All right. So this is the pattern you're looking for. If you could find that pattern, send it to me. I'll tell you you have a good one. You give me a great pattern and I trade it, I'll give you part of my profits. If I haven't seen it myself, and if you're a member, but that's called the Chart Bounty program here at Day Trading Radio for members. You get me, because there's so many good setups out there. We just need to get sometimes eyes on the ground there, and find these, because when we get them, here's the one we went from 1 cent to basically went up to 6 cents. 400% move, and it's hanging in there pretty good. It's still hanging in there. I'm still holding on to that one too. But all these penny stocks are working out really good. I don't know how long they're going to last. When we say that, here's the extra. Let's take a look at, and not all of them are going to continue. Like, look at these. This is a nice one we had out of this breakout. Pushed all the way up here. Took it off. Then I got back in it because I said, all right, I want to see this thing go. And as you can see, it pulled back. So it just doesn't come without any danger here. I actually like this level here. So this is actually a nice stock going into this week. It pulls back to the original trade area that we got into. And that right move was taking it off. Again, that's a pretty nice move in the market. Either way, 70% move. It moved 70%. Lixty was another one. Now, Lixty we got into just a few days ago. I said Lixty has the pattern. It has everything we want in it, right? It's all good. First thing is the pattern, and also the low float. I believe it's like maybe a 900,000 share float, maybe just over a million. I'm not 100% sure, but it's very low. The low float for me is usually under 5 million shares. And we talk about a float, to just kind of go into that for a second. That's the outstanding shares available to trade minus the restricted shares that might be held by insiders or employees. So that kind of gives you the floating shares that can be traded in the market, not the restricted ones or the insider held ones, which are usually restricted for lockup periods or whatever reason. So the lower the float, you tend to get faster moves in these prices. So that's another main criteria. Now, very upset with myself. Friday I came in, Paul's on the mic, or I'm sitting down, but I'm just not paying attention to the market, didn't realize that Lixty had news out. I couldn't even believe it. I'm running around Fridays. Sometimes I'm not in front of the computer as much because I'm doing all my other things I need to do for the office and stuff. And here it is. If I would have had my order in here for whatever, I mean, if this thing it doubled. All right, it went up 100%. Went from $4 to $8. Came all the way back down to about $4.50. Then went all the way back up to $8. Then came all the way back down to $5. And this is where it kind of ended up here. That was a mistake I made. I was not on top of this. I did not have my orders in. I mean, lucky we're in the money on this, but very poor, sloppy, follow through on my part. Really, really pissed me off because I wasn't that. I'm always on top of these, and I just kind of you gotta be on the top of these. You gotta have your orders in. You got 100% moves. Decent money on the line. It's like this is money. So I can't stress enough having orders in some of these stocks that at least you lock in some of the profits. All right, here we go. Just put it down on a piece of paper for you. Rules for trading pennies. Set realistic goals, price targets, set predetermined sell orders, especially for, of course, for your longs. Don't chase. Find the setup and get in before the wolf pack. 90% of the pops will fade. Criteria, very simple. This is basically what it looks like. Very tight, long, extended base. Low float. I like to see it holding off of recent lows. If there's lows down here and it starts to base out again, make another shelf above the recent lows, that's even better. Kind of an established area of resistance on top is key. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be very choppy, but you should get an idea of where it is, because once that candle goes, it's going to really make this, really stand out. You're going to have a bigger candle, and it's going to really look tight. In the beginning, it doesn't look tight, but when you get a big candle like this, everything gets squished down, and you really see the pattern better. So you have to look for that also. Here's a little bonus one here. Here's one that has not popped yet. We were in this here at Day Trading Radio, and this is a micro penny. Again, here's a good example. We're in it for around 5 cents. It's at 7 cents. I mean, excuse me. It's not 7 cents. 0.005 would be a half a cent. So this is just over a half a cent. So not a penny yet, but over a half a cent. And again, you can see the type of criteria I like on this. We're kind of based off a little off of the recent base here. Popped up. We're staying up here on the next ledge. What are you going to do? It's a micro penny, but this is I'm just showing you some of the patterns that I do like to search on. It happens to be one that's on the watch list for this week too. Business Warrior Corporation. This was one that had a nice consolidation there, and then during this phase, it's actually looking really strong. Here are some cases where you do get a nice move. I don't know where this thing began back here at a penny. It's now 20 cents. That's a huge move. Huge. On occasion you will get those, but most of them, they're going to pull back on you. Here's a couple other ones that haven't moved. It's interesting here. This one also I'm looking at. It's a $13 recent type, new issue. But again, a lot of these have already come out of their pattern, so I'm just going to kind of, there's kind of one that's still in a little pattern. We did have a little pop on that. But I just want to give you an example of what we're looking for. Here's another one. It's not that bad. It's kind of an ascending. It's a little higher in price, which I don't really care for. That could be considered one. Just looking back, this low bow, again, very higher price stock, so it doesn't qualify for the penny type of trade. But everything else, all right. Here at the JFU, we were in this one because of this base here. You can see what I was looking for, and then we got the pop and follow through. It's actually holding up pretty good. And that's it. Just want to show you a few of what we're looking for, and if we find them, we'll put them out there. LVGI was one here. Look at this. This was really one of my favorites, and we got everything we wanted on that. Still holding it. I still liked it. Still like this. But this acted good. You get that big, you get that consolidation, you get that pop, you get the consolidation, you got the pop. Now the pullback. It's not exciting anymore. I wouldn't put anybody in this. Now actually, you could get in it now. It's not the worst. It's actually a nice pullback, but it's not that exciting. Let's see if there's any more volume. And this one is still under the radar. If this got out there, I think it would move more aggressively. So that's it. I want to get this video out, and I'll see everyone in the markets tomorrow. This Sunday night. It's coming up on 5 o'clock in the evening. Don't forget, J&J got the approval of their drug vaccine. Stimulus is being voted on. I think the House passed it. I don't know how it is when the Senate's supposed to vote on it. And it will be interesting to see where the futures open up. I'll have those broadcasting for you tonight. Have a great evening, everyone, and pay attention. We should have a good week.